last week on AutoZone.
Why would you tell anybody to drive a Kia?
Why would I tell anyone to drive a Kia? Because it's a Kia, first of all. If you go outside and want to get, for example, an Uber, what's the car you see the most? It's a Picanto. Picanto is coming from a Kia.
Lexus had a blast in the Kia K5. This week, we explore Rana Motors' second 2021 release from the South Korean car company, presenting the gorgeous Kia Sorento. So this is it, the all-new Kia Sorento 2021. A 191 brake horsepower engine pushing a 2.5 litre capacity Smart Stream technology engine. Now, I know you remember the old Sorento with the V6, the 3.5 litre beast. Now, if you're thinking that they've downgraded, think again, because this 2.5 litre machine is actually faster than the old V6. The power of a mini monster, all at the touch of a button. Let me show you around this beautiful little beast. First of all, we'll start with the boot. You know, an SUV, a sports utility vehicle, is supposed to show its utility for your sports, you know, your golf and your tennis and all of the equipment that you might need to stow away to and from your sporting activities. Well, this car has thought of all that. It's a 7-seater which can comfortably seat 7 people, even though you might have to make sure that those in the back are children, those in the third row. But when you stow away these third row seats, you get yourself a huge amount of space. Enough for 4 suitcases, enough for several sets of golf clubs, tennis equipment, footballs. You can well imagine carrying the troops' equipment to the field every single weekend in this wonderful little machine. Now, we are in a suburb somewhere in Accra, in a residential area, and that's intentional because I want to show you this car in its element. I want you to experience the Sorento where it was meant to live, among the most comfortable of society, because that is what this car is selling. It is selling a dream of comfort. Now, the boys in design, boys and girls in design at Kia, decided that this time around the Sorento should not be about big rounded edges. It should be about sharp angles. And they've done that with everything. So we've got these wonderful vertically shaped rear lights with the angles. Okay, and it all creates this, let's call it an illusion of speed. Okay, these wonderful angles in every single thing they've designed, giving you the impression that the car is leaning forward and raring to go. And they're not lying. This car is just dying to be moved, and I'm not going to disappoint. Now, before we head off into the sunset, let me introduce you to the cockpit of the new Sorento. So they thought of a number of things when they were making this car. They thought it's got to be better, it's got to be faster, it's also got to be smarter. So they built you a control deck which basically thinks as you think. Everything is intuitive and easy. If you want the radio, there's one button to take you right there, and you can choose very easily whichever frequency you want. You can tune with the big bulky knob, which is always missed when you find yourself in one of these touch screen situations. It's important. The combined touchscreen with the bulk of the knobs so that everything is easier for you to do. Okay, you can pick, of course, the only frequency that matters, and of course it boosts wonderful sound through 12 Bose speakers and tweeters scattered across this vehicle in the most convenient places. That's a speaker, that's a speaker, that's a speaker. Oh my goodness, they're all over. In the back you've got speakers for days, and they are all designed to arrow the music into your ears at the best angle so that you enjoy all the bass, the treble, the mid-range, all the fidelity of music at its very best. All right, now again, they've added bulk to touchscreen. Okay, so for your climate control, everything is at your fingertips. You've got dual climate control. You can control the power of your fan very easily. The symbols are there to show you what you're doing. Your temperature is right here. Blue is cold, red is hot, easy to control. Everything designed for your convenience. Now, I love these wonderful little knobs here for controlling the direction of the airstream from your fan. Now, these knobs are just so sexy because look, they're designed with these little ridges on the edge. They've got this sort of biscuit shape to them, and they handle so perfectly in your fingers. It's not the kind of thing that while you're driving, you might miss when you're trying to grab it and control it. You don't have to look at it. You will find it, you will touch it, you will move it, and it will respond like almost everything else in this beautiful car. Now, let me tell you about this steering wheel. You see, the thing about how a car feels to drive, perhaps about 50% of it is down to the shape and size of the steering wheel. Now, I don't know what materials Kia chose for this one, but it feels so sturdy and smooth. Okay, when your hands are around it, you feel like you are in full grip and control of whatever power this vehicle has to offer. It's got all your necessary controls for the sound system and all the other features, including your display right here on your steering wheel. If it's your volume, if it's your selection, if it's the mode, if it's the phone you want to control, it's all here and available. And by the way, this vehicle will connect easily to your Apple phone, to your Android. Doesn't matter, it's ready for you. This car is designed for convenience. Now, I love the shape of this gear shift. Now, it's a pity that with automatic cars you don't use the gear shift as much. Otherwise, this would be the most comfortable, really quite sexy gear shift to put in a car. Okay, so of course you've got the controller on the side, so you push it and then you move, okay, through all your gears: reverse, neutral, and drive. Okay, and of course it's got this wonderful auto hold feature, which means that if you're going down a hill and it's really steep and you need to stop, one press of the auto hold and you are gripped in place. It's a brake it's a brake that is not going to fail you. It'll make sure you stay in place whatever the incline you are parked on, and all of this available in what they would describe as a compact SUV. But I've got to tell you, it doesn't feel compact. I'm 6 feet tall and I've got enough room here at one of the closest settings, but it goes even further back, all the way back, all the way up, all the way down. All right, so that you can experience whichever angle or position you want when you're driving this beautiful vehicle. It's all electronic, of course, which in fact in some cars is a luxury, but Kia has spared no expense in the Sorento. So you've got automatic seat controls and adjusters, all for the same wonderful Kia price. It's got leather, beautiful perforated leather, and someone took the time to design this, so you can tell that they've actually paid good money to place something of real quality. They've made this leather with the taut and tight cowhide that you would normally get from European cows, and Kia has spared no expense in putting that together in this wonderful cockpit. Now, storage is not a problem. They've got lots of it to spare. Okay, so you've got your glove compartment, and then here in the center, this is what I love about it. They've got this big cubby hole over here, which is so deep. You can literally fit anything. Several phones will fit comfortably in here without any complaint whatsoever. and I like to keep my keys in here as well, so I know it'll all fit in there with no stress whatsoever. But it's also angular, so if you want to keep your phone on the outside, you can do just that. Okay, put it right there and you're fine, you're good to go. Okay, some people prefer to use the maps on their phones. If that's your bag, well, here's a nice comfortable place to place it, so that as you're driving around, your phone will not slip off and fall down. You can keep an eye on whatever it is that you need to observe. Although I would always recommend you keep your eyes on the road, so maybe you want to use the navigation that comes with Kia. That might be your better option. Now, more storage here. Okay, you've got another little tray here for things like keys and all the little trinkets, and then of course you've got the storage for your big stuff. Let's check out the back. Now this is comfort. Traffic is annoying, and having to spend 2 hours of your life in it every single day is not recommended, unless you're spending it in a space like this. The back seat of the new 2021 Sorento is really where you want to be if you have to be anywhere for 2 hours. Okay, you've got everything you need, your cup holders, and you can control your own climate right here, and of course it's got the charging ports right next to you, so you don't have to do that unfortunate thing that some cars make you do, where you have to charge your phone at the front and keep your phone here and have to lean forward to use your phone while it's charging. Here you sit back comfortably, you stretch your legs out, and there is a lot of leg room to stretch out, and of course you do whatever you want while the traffic whizzes by at whatever pace it wants. You don't care, because you're in the back seat of a Kia Sorento. Luxury personified. In fact, I don't even think first class in most airlines will allow me to recline like this and stay in this position for 2 hours. I heard it, baby. So this is where the Kia Sorento keeps all its secrets. If you're wondering how a 2.5 litre engine can perform better than a 3.5 litre and still save you on fuel, it's because of something called Smart Stream. Smart Stream technology is Kia's contribution to the automotive industry, and it comes in the front of a Kia Sorento. This system will allow this wonderful machine to pull out far more power from the little fuel that you put into it and take you farther and faster than any Sorento before it. The guys at Kia sat around the table with the calculators, much like Asiedun Ketia did in the Supreme Court, and came out with the right formulae, so that you put in a little, you get a lot. Just like we were all made in God's image, we are creators, and Kia has demonstrated that with the Sorento. This engine is designed to last far longer than others. It is easy to access for maintenance purposes. It's got a rear hatch to protect it from the vagaries of the road, and from the top, everything is within touching distance. So this car is not only a delight for the owner, but the owner's mechanic will find it just as delightful. Now, I know you're going to buy yourself a Sorento. I know you love it. But until you get it, those who will get there before you, when they are driving behind you in traffic, this is what you will see. They've given this car teeth, actual teeth, so that they look like they could snarl and bite you off the road as they make their way to their destination. They've given it that aggressive look, again with the angles, okay, this angular driving daylights, as well as these wonderful 4-cluster front headlights. The hazards are the ones in the corner, the traffic indicators are the ones in the corners, and they look mean and aggressive when you switch them on. So they've divided the grille into two, separated by the wonderful aluminum of the car, but you've got the air vents here and here, so that this engine can get air from both directions, above and below. This front end is what they want you to remember the most when you meet this car for the first time. They want you to see an animal which looks small but is deadly dangerous. Think about an ant with immense power, yet when you put it next to a dog, it may look small. But let's see who can bite whom. My money is on the Sorento. Time to take it for a spin. Now, I'm sure Lexus is around here somewhere. Let's see if we can find him. Earlier, I took a drive around town in another Sorento with Alex Kunta from the Rana Motors team. So tell me, who are you targeting? Who is your typical Kia Sorento driver?
Yes, we are looking at the top executives of institutions. We are also looking at family men, somebody who loves to travel, because it's a 7-seater and the seats are collapsible as well. You can keep your luggage in there, or if you are driving with the family, everybody stays comfortable and you enjoy your trip. It's also for somebody who is trendy as well, because of the new designs, somebody who enjoys electronic gadgets because of how this vehicle is loaded and equipped. It gives you all in one.
Now back to my test drive. Now there's no doubt that this is an SUV, so you can expect it to take you comfortably over rough roads. But it looks as if this car was really designed to be at home in the suburbs. For those upwardly mobile families where it's time for mommy to have a vehicle to take the kids to school, or it's time for daddy to upgrade from the car he's been driving for God knows how many decades into something that looks like he wasn't born in the era of Kwame Nkrumah. This car fits the bill perfectly. It's comfortable to drive. It's got every possible bit of technological advancement you could need in a vehicle in the 21st century, and it just feels so good to drive. Okay, it's got several drive modes, if you will, and you can select any of them depending on the kind of terrain you're on, depending on the sort of time you have left to get to your destination. You can pick whatever is most comfortable. You can even pick one that will make the most of your quickly declining petrol. So you've got drive modes like Eco, which we're in right now, but you can turn it into something very aggressive in the sport gear. Just make sure you're not heading to a junction at the time. Now the sports gear is aggressive. It moves the car along with a bit more purpose. It's kind of like giving your car a quick steroid injection in the middle of the 100 meters race. Just watch Usain Bolt stop and drop his jaw. We're going to find Lexus in a minute, and then we'll take a leisurely drive along a long stretch of road here in Accra. But yeah, while I'm hunting for his elusive self, I'm getting the opportunity to experience every little nuance of how this car drives. Look, everything in this car feels like quality, but there's also something about the music in this car. I mean, check this out. Look, this car will allow you to set up your music however you want it. You can set up different zones in the car to determine where you want your sound to be concentrated. So when you go to the sound settings and you pick position, there is a little cursor here that you can use to move the music from one part of the car to the other. Okay, it's divided the car into 4 quadrants. Right now the person in the back is enjoying it back left, and right now it's all mine, and no one else in the car will hear the music as well as I am hearing it. But if you want it evenly distributed, you just tap the center and there you go. Surround sound, the very best, and boy does it sound good. Tells you what's behind you with the wonderful rear camera. Every time you switch into reverse, the camera comes on, so somebody's got your back. The brakes are impressive. Check this out. Whoa, not spongy at all, firm, responsive to your touch. You don't need to have a 100 kilogram foot in order to bring this car to a very soft, gentle and purposeful halt. You know, all of a sudden, it's not down to the Japanese models anymore. It's down to the old, reliable, dependable, and now absolutely beautiful and still powerful Kia. Lexus, where are you?
Some things are very hard to combine. Beauty and strength, power and economy, cheapness and quality. But somehow Kia has created a unicorn with the Sorento. A unicorn that somehow does all these things and makes it look easy too. Suddenly, the impossible is within our grasp. In fact, it is in the forecourt of Rana Motors, waiting for you.